Hey guys, I hope you're all having a great day, and today I'm going to be talking about cozy books when all you want is just to take a seat, escape into just a really cozy, nice story without any high stakes where you're just like really stressed out throughout reading this book. So I have 6 categories for you guys. So I have like separated them so that it's gonna be easier for you to decide if this book is more in your category or not. First category is whimsy with magic, a little bit high stakes. It is a little bit high stakes, but not too much, not like a high fantasy book. It is still a cozy book, and it is Flower Heart by Catherine Bakewell. I love this book. I thought it was so cozy, even though there are high stakes. So we follow in this story Clara, who is trying to become a witch, but she is having some difficulties with her magic. It is not cooperating as much as she would like to, so it's kind of difficult. The story picks up where she tries to use her magic, but unfortunately she puts a flower inside her father's chest. So it's kind of a deadly sentence that she gave him. So she has to learn this really difficult spell, and it's really hard because she's never done anything like this before. So she gets help from a former friend, a childhood friend you would say, called Xavier, but he doesn't really want to help her, and he has grown up to be somewhat of a distant person. So this book is kind of high stakes because her father's life is in danger, but the whole story is still whimsical and magic, and we get to learn more about the magic system in this book, and it is really nice. I really love how it was made, and yeah. Next category I have is whimsy with magic, but this time very low stakes. And for this category, I have The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. In this story, we follow Keela and her best friend named Kaz, which is a magical sentient plant. Keela is a librarian in the Great Library of Elysium, and her main job is to preserve all these spell books for the elite magicians. However, a revolution happens and the Great Library is put into flames. Thrown into flames? Well, anyhow. So Keela and Kaz have to flee the city because even though she's not for any sides in particular, she was still a librarian in the Great Library, which people were not really so fond of, so she decides to escape to find shelter somewhere else. Keela goes back to her childhood home, which is an island very far away from Elysium, and there she decides to go back to her old house. To survive on the island, since she doesn't have any job actually anymore, she decides to make something that the island doesn't have, which is jam. In this world, magic is like prohibited. You only have to be the elite to be able to possess and actually do magic. But Keela decides to be a little rebellious and opens a spell shop. So she creates spells for people, so like helping plants grow or helping water flow more, stuff like that. So the reason why I said that this book was low stakes is because the big stakes here is that she would be caught making magic, well, doing magic and creating spells, but like it is very a low stake situation. We mainly follow her day to day trying to build back her home and bringing the spell shop to life basically. So that was pretty much it throughout the book. There is like a very small romance involved, but it is very slim. Next category is whimsy without magic, and it is a low stakes. And for this one, I have Legend and Lattes by Travis Baldry. This book was so good, so cozy. I loved it so much. It is very D&D-esque, if I can say that. Like, it's like in a D&D world. It's D&D vibes, because we follow Viv, who is an orc? Half orc. I'm not sure. But she has spent her whole life being a warrior and fighting in wars, and she is tired of it. She wants to retire and she wants to just chill out. She decides to set up camp in a city called Thune. I don't even know. And she decides to open her own coffee shop, which is the first ever coffee shop in Thune. And so people discover coffee for the first time when she serves them
coffee. The only like stakes that are in this book is that at some point she gets vandalized, so she doesn't know who is trying to destroy her coffee shop, and that's basically it. So it is not a big deal. It is very, very low stake. We really focused on making the coffee shop and bringing it to life and welcoming customers and everything. So it was just really wholesome. It was really nice to read about people trying coffee for the first time. It really felt like I wish I could relive that all over again. So yeah. Next category is a cozy romance with spice. This one has some spice, not too much, I would say. Like, it's not a heavily spiced book, but I have to mention that it does have some, and it is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. I just finished reading this book. I listened to this book as an audiobook, and let me tell you, it was good. So we have our two main characters, Aiden Valentine and Lucy Stone. Aiden Valentine is a radio host of a show called Heartstrings, and he basically talks with callers and give them advices on relationships and romance. And Lucy Stone is a mechanic whose 10 or 12-year-old daughter calls into Heartstrings to try to find her mom a boyfriend. The premise is just so cute, so funny, and I really love the way that everything brings them together. And Aiden and Lucy's chemistry was on point. I loved it so much. Throughout the whole story, it was just really cute, really warm, really, really cozy. There is some spice, obviously, like I said, but I don't think it's like that heavy throughout the book. I would say it's like 5% of the book, maybe 10, but like, it's fine. All the side characters are really hilarious in this book. I really loved really all of it. And I also listened to this as an audiobook, so I thought the way the people were speaking was such a good way. When people were making jokes or having like a sarcastic tone, you could hear it, and you could hear like the acting, and it was perfection. Next category I have is cozy romance, but this time without spice. And for this one, I have Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welsh. I will be completely honest, I have not read this book in a really long time. I have made a video review if you guys want to go and check it out, but like, I don't remember if there is absolutely no spice at all in this book, but I don't think that there is any, because I think I would remember. So maybe they kiss, but that's it. I don't even know how to start this premise because it's like a weird start, but like Lena's mother passes away. That's how we start. And her dying wish was for her daughter to go in Italy and meet her father. And that's what she does for the summer. She arrives there, and her father lives next to the cemetery in that town, which is like hilarious. I thought just the first few chapters of this book, I could not stop laughing about like the irony of it all. Like, she's going somewhere she's never been before, meeting someone she's never met, and she ends up in a cemetery. And her mother just died. Like, what the hell? At that place, she finds her mother's diary where she talks about all the places that she went to, and so Lena makes it her mission to go to all these places that her mother went. And there, obviously, she meets a guy named Ren, and I think he helps her find all the places that her mom mentioned in her diary. And so that's it. She discovers Italy, she eats good gelato, she falls in love. Everything's fun. And last category is a fresh start with romance, and this one has spice in it, and it is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. So in this book, we follow Jeannie, whose aunt gave her her beloved spice cafe in a small town called Dream Harbor, and Jeannie, who is exhausted of her city life, jumps at the occasion and says, I'm good, let's go for it. At that town, we also follow Logan, who is a farmer, and he avoids Dream Harbor's gossip at all costs. He doesn't want to be any part of it, so he doesn't know anything about anyone, actually. However, these two meet, obviously, and they have a romance, but we also follow Jeannie's reopening of the Spice Cafe, which I thought was really, really nice because it's not just a romance, it's also like not an entrepreneurial work, but like it was fun to have the romance, but also her story, her main story as well. In this book, it is spicy. I do remember some spicy scenes, multiple, so if you're not into that, you can just skip it. But I thought this book was just really fun to listen to. I listened to this as an audiobook, and it was just nice. It was funny, it was cozy. You should listen to it in autumn, so I'm not giving the best recommendation right now, but she arrives at Dream Harbor in autumn, so I thought it was just fitting that I would read it in autumn. So I read it last autumn and it was just a perfect read. So that was it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Tell me down below if you have any more recommendations for the category that I have given. Maybe I will discover new books. I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.